Imagine a world where strength isn't just about muscles or dominance, but about inner resilience and authenticity. What if the key to a fulfilled and impactful life lies not in avoiding life's challenges, but in embracing them with courage and determination? Welcome to an exploration of Friedrich Nietzsche's provocative philosophy, where power and weakness transcend their conventional meanings. Today, we dive deep into Nietzsche's groundbreaking ideas that challenge the very foundations of how we understand success, strength, and self-worth. Nietzsche believed that power was not about control over others, but mastery over oneself. Weakness, in his eyes, was not merely a lack of ability, but a failure to confront reality with honesty and courage. His philosophy is a call to action, a bold invitation to rise above mediocrity and live authentically, no matter the cost. In this video, we'll explore Nietzsche's concept of the will to power and why he saw strength as the ultimate virtue, not the brute force of domination, but the quiet, steady determination to overcome life's adversities. We'll see how Nietzsche's critique of weakness extends to self-deception and societal complacency, and why he believed that these traits hold individuals and entire cultures back from reaching their full potential. Through stories of iconic figures like Viktor Frankl, Elon Musk, and Malala Yousafzai, we'll uncover how Nietzsche's ideas remain profoundly relevant in the modern world. Whether you're striving to break free from personal limitations, lead with authenticity, or simply find meaning in the chaos of life, Nietzsche's philosophy offers timeless insights. Stay tuned as we delve into the depths of Nietzsche's thought, challenging, inspiring, and even unsettling ideas that might just change how you view yourself and the world. Together, we'll uncover the transformative power of embracing life struggles, rejecting mediocrity, and striving for a state of being that reflects the highest potential of the human spirit. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the most influential and provocative philosophers of the 19th century, offers a nuanced and often controversial examination of power and weakness. His disdain for weakness extends beyond the mere absence of physical strength. It delves deep into psychological and moral realms, critiquing the very essence of what he perceives as inherent frailty within individuals and societies. Nietzsche's exploration of these themes is not only central to his philosophical oeuvre, but also holds significant relevance in contemporary discussions about personal development, leadership, and societal dynamics. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy lies the concept of the will to power, a fundamental driving force he believes underpins all human behavior. This idea transcends the simplistic notion of power as mere dominance or control over others. Instead, it encompasses the intrinsic drive to assert oneself, to overcome obstacles, and to achieve personal excellence. In this context, weakness is not just a lack of power, but a failure to harness and direct one's will effectively. Nietzsche sees weakness as a manifestation of self-deception, an inability to confront reality, and a propensity to evade the challenges that life presents. In his critique, Nietzsche does not merely label weakness as undesirable. He intricately links it to dishonesty and lack of integrity. Weakness, in his view, often leads individuals to lie to themselves about their true desires and capabilities, thereby avoiding the rigorous self-examination necessary for genuine self-overcoming. This self-deception prevents individuals from realizing their full potential, trapping them in cycles of dependency and mediocrity. Nietzsche's portrayal of characters such as Malinov in The Death of Stalin exemplifies this critique. Malinov's inability to assert his will and his susceptibility to manipulation highlight the dangers Nietzsche associates with weakness, namely, unreliability and the erosion of trust. Nietzsche's disdain for weakness is deeply intertwined with his admiration for strength, not in its most superficial form, but as an expression of inner resilience and authenticity. Strength, according to Nietzsche, is the capacity for self-mastery, the ability to create and uphold one's own values, and the courage to live authentically despite societal pressures. This form of strength is exemplified by Nietzsche's concept of the Übermensch, or overman, an individual who transcends conventional morality to forge their own path and values. The Übermensch embodies the ultimate realization of the will to power, showcasing the pinnacle of human potential and the triumph over inherent weaknesses. To contextualize Nietzsche's ideas in the modern world, consider the example of Elon Musk. Musk's relentless pursuit of innovation and his willingness to take risks in ventures like SpaceX and Tesla reflect the Nietzschean ideal of self-overcoming. His ability to navigate challenges, maintain a clear vision, and remain authentic to his goals despite significant setbacks illustrates the strength Nietzsche advocates. In contrast, a leader who constantly wavers in their decisions, influenced by external opinions without a clear, self-defined vision, exemplifies the weakness Nietzsche condemns. Such inconsistency not only undermines trust, but also leads to organizational instability. Mirroring Nietzsche's critique of weak leadership, Nietzsche's perspective extends beyond individual behavior to societal structures. He criticizes democratic and egalitarian systems for promoting mediocrity and suppressing exceptional individuals. In his view, these systems level down societal standards by valuing uniformity over excellence, thereby discouraging the emergence of strong, self-assertive individuals who could drive progress and innovation. This critique is particularly relevant in contemporary debates about meritocracy and the balance between equality and excellence. Nietzsche warns that excessive emphasis on equality can stifle individual creativity and ambition, leading to a society of mediocrity rather than one of exceptional achievement. Moreover, Nietzsche's ideas on power and weakness intersect with his critique of modern moral systems. He challenges the prevailing moral frameworks that prioritize self-denial, altruism, and pity, arguing that they foster dependency and inhibit personal growth. For Nietzsche, these moral values often serve as mechanisms to control and suppress the will to power, encouraging individuals to conform rather than to excel. This critique is evident in his discussions of Christianity and other moral philosophies that, in his view, promote weakness by valuing meekness and humility over strength and assertiveness. In today's context, this Nietzschean critique can be seen in the way certain societal norms and cultural values emphasize modesty and collectivism at the expense of individual excellence and innovation. While these values promote social harmony and mutual support, Nietzsche would argue that they also discourage the kind of bold, assertive behavior necessary for significant advancements and personal fulfillment. This tension between promoting collective well-being and fostering individual excellence remains a central issue in contemporary societal discourse, highlighting the enduring relevance of Nietzsche's ideas. Nietzsche's disdain for weakness is also closely related to his concept of authenticity. He believes that true strength lies in the ability to live authentically, adhering to one's own values and desires rather than conforming to external expectations. Authenticity requires a deep understanding of oneself and the courage to face uncomfortable truths, which Nietzsche sees as the antidote to weakness. Without this authenticity, individuals remain trapped in roles and behaviors imposed by societal norms, unable to realize their true potential. An illustrative modern example of authenticity as strength can be found in figures like Oprah Winfrey. Winfrey's success is not only a result of her business acumen, but also her unwavering commitment to her own values and her ability to remain true to herself despite immense pressure and scrutiny. Her authenticity has endeared her to millions, demonstrating how living in alignment with one's true self can lead to both personal fulfillment and widespread influence. This stands in stark contrast to those who prioritize societal approval over personal integrity, embodying the weakness Nietzsche warns against. Nietzsche's critique of weakness also extends to interpersonal relationships and societal interactions. He posits that weakness breeds dishonesty and manipulation, as individuals who lack the strength to assert their will may resort to deceit to avoid confrontation or to maintain a facade of control. This dynamic can lead to toxic relationships and dysfunctional societies, where trust is eroded and genuine connections are undermined by underlying power struggles. Nietzsche emphasizes that strength, characterized by honesty and integrity, is essential for building meaningful and trustworthy relationships. Consider the political arena, where leaders often navigate complex power dynamics. A politician who consistently shifts their stance to appease different factions without a clear, principled stance exemplifies the weakness Nietzsche condemns. This lack of authenticity and integrity not only undermines public trust but also destabilizes the political environment, leading to inefficiency and corruption. In contrast, leaders who demonstrate consistency, honesty, and a clear vision inspire confidence and foster stable, effective governance, aligning with Nietzsche's ideals of strength. In the realm of personal development, Nietzsche's emphasis on strength and self-overcoming encourages individuals to pursue continuous growth and to confront their limitations head-on. This philosophy advocates for a proactive approach to life, where challenges are seen as opportunities for improvement rather than obstacles to be avoided. By embracing this mindset, individuals can cultivate resilience, enhance their capabilities, and achieve a higher state of self-mastery, thus overcoming the inherent weaknesses that hinder their progress. A practical application of Nietzsche's philosophy can be seen in the practices of high-performing athletes. Consider Serena Williams, whose career is marked by her relentless drive, resilience in the face of setbacks, and unwavering commitment to her goals. Williams exemplifies the Nietzschean ideal of strength through her ability to overcome injuries, losses, and societal expectations to achieve greatness in her field. Her success is a testament to the power of self-overcoming and the rejection of weakness, demonstrating how Nietzsche's philosophy can inspire individuals to reach their full potential. Nietzsche's disdain for weakness also intersects with his critique of modernity and the cultural shifts he observed in his time. He believed that the rise of democratic and egalitarian values led to the suppression of exceptional individuals, fostering a culture of mediocrity and complacency. This cultural critique remains relevant today as societies continue to grapple with the balance between promoting equality and encouraging individual excellence. Nietzsche's warnings serve as a reminder of the potential dangers of prioritizing uniformity over diversity and exceptionalism. In contemporary discourse, the tension between equality and excellence is evident in various contexts, from education systems to corporate cultures. Educational institutions, for example, often strive to create equitable environments that provide opportunities for all students. While this is commendable, Nietzsche might argue that an overemphasis on equality can stifle the development of exceptional talents and discourage the pursuit of excellence. Similarly, in corporate settings, fostering a culture of innovation and excellence requires recognizing and rewarding individual strengths rather than enforcing uniform standards that may dilute overall performance. Nietzsche's philosophy also delves into the psychological dimensions of power and weakness, particularly the impact of internal struggles on one's ability to achieve strength. He emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and the continuous effort to align one's actions with personal values and goals. This internal alignment is crucial for overcoming weakness, as it empowers individuals to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. Nietzsche's ideas encourage a form of introspection and self-discipline that is essential for personal growth and the realization of one's potential. In the modern context, this aspect of Nietzsche's philosophy resonates with the principles of mindfulness and personal development practices that emphasize self-awareness and intentional living. Techniques such as meditation, journaling, and goal setting are tools that individuals use to cultivate self-awareness and align their actions with their values, thereby fostering inner strength and resilience. By engaging in these practices, individuals can overcome internal weaknesses, enhance their self-mastery, and achieve greater fulfillment in their personal and professional lives. Nietzsche's critique of weakness also encompasses his disdain for societal norms that promote dependency and discourage self-sufficiency. He argues that societal structures often incentivize individuals to rely on external support rather than developing their own strengths and capabilities. This dependency, according to Nietzsche, perpetuates weakness and hinders the emergence of strong, independent individuals who can drive progress and innovation. His philosophy advocates for a culture that values self-sufficiency and encourages individuals to take ownership of their lives and destinies. This critique is particularly relevant in discussions about welfare systems and social support structures. While such systems play a crucial role in providing safety nets for those in need, Nietzsche might argue that an over-reliance on external support can discourage personal responsibility and the development of self-sufficiency. He would advocate for a balanced approach that provides necessary support while also encouraging individuals to cultivate their own strengths and take proactive steps towards personal and professional growth. This perspective challenges modern societies to find ways to support those in need without fostering dependency, promoting a culture of empowerment and resilience. Nietzsche's philosophy also emphasizes the importance of overcoming nihilism, the belief that life lacks inherent meaning or value. He contends that weakness and self-deception contribute to nihilistic tendencies by undermining individuals' ability to find purpose and significance in their lives. By fostering strength, self-overcoming, and the creation of personal values, Nietzsche provides a pathway out of nihilism, encouraging individuals to imbue their lives with meaning through their actions and achievements. In today's fast-paced, often disorienting world, feelings of nihilism and existential angst are prevalent. Nietzsche's ideas offer a framework for addressing these feelings by promoting a proactive approach to life's challenges. By focusing on self-mastery, personal growth, and the creation of meaningful values, individuals can combat feelings of meaninglessness and cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment. This approach aligns with contemporary movements in positive psychology and existential therapy, which emphasize the importance of meaning-making and personal agency in overcoming psychological challenges. Furthermore, Nietzsche's critique of weakness intersects with his views on education and the cultivation of excellence. He advocates for an educational system that nurtures individual strengths and encourages the pursuit of personal excellence rather than one that enforces uniformity and conformity. Nietzsche's vision of education emphasizes critical thinking, creativity, and the development of unique talents, fostering environments where strong, self-assertive individuals can thrive and contribute meaningfully to society. In modern educational contexts, this philosophy underscores the importance of personalized learning and the encouragement of diverse talents and interests. Educational systems that recognize and cultivate individual strengths can produce not only well-rounded individuals, but also innovative thinkers and leaders who drive societal progress. Nietzsche's ideas challenge educators to move beyond standardized approaches and to create learning environments that celebrate and develop each student's unique potential. Nietzsche's exploration of power and weakness also extends to his critique of cultural and intellectual conformity. He warns against the dangers of conforming to prevailing cultural norms and intellectual trends, arguing that such conformity stifles creativity and intellectual independence. Nietzsche encourages individuals to challenge established norms, think critically, and develop their own unique perspectives and values. This intellectual independence is a hallmark of strength, enabling individuals to contribute original ideas and drive cultural and intellectual advancements. In the contemporary landscape, Nietzsche's critique resonates with movements that challenge mainstream cultural and intellectual paradigms. The rise of countercultural movements, independent thinkers, and innovators who question established norms exemplifies Nietzsche's advocacy for intellectual independence and the rejection of conformity. These movements foster environments where strength, creativity, and originality can flourish, driving societal and cultural evolution. Nietzsche's disdain for weakness is also reflected in his views on religion and spirituality. He critiques religious doctrines that, in his view, promote weakness by encouraging passivity, self-denial, and the suppression of individual desires and strengths. Nietzsche's famous declaration that God is dead symbolizes his rejection of traditional religious frameworks that, according to him, hinder human potential and the expression of true strength. Instead, Nietzsche advocates for a spirituality that empowers individuals to create their own values and find meaning through personal growth and self-overcoming. This critique is particularly relevant in contemporary discussions about the role of religion and spirituality in personal and societal development. While religion can provide a sense of community and moral guidance, Nietzsche would argue that it can also discourage the pursuit of personal excellence and the assertion of individual will. His philosophy encourages a form of spirituality that is self-affirming and empowering, allowing individuals to find meaning and purpose through their own efforts and achievements rather than relying on external religious doctrines. In conclusion, Friedrich Nietzsche's profound perspective on power and weakness offers a compelling framework for understanding the dynamics of personal development and societal progress. His critique of weakness extends beyond the superficial to encompass deep psychological and moral dimensions, emphasizing the importance of self-mastery, authenticity, and the creation of personal values. Nietzsche's philosophy challenges individuals and societies to strive for excellence, confront their limitations, and cultivate the inner strength necessary to overcome adversity and achieve their full potential. By examining the lives of influential figures, contemporary societal structures, and the psychological dimensions of strength and weakness, Nietzsche's ideas remain remarkably relevant today. They encourage a proactive approach to personal growth, advocate for intellectual and cultural independence, and warn against the dangers of conformity and dependency. In a world where the tension between strength and weakness continues to shape our interactions and institutions, Nietzsche's insights provide valuable guidance for fostering resilient, authentic, and empowered individuals who can drive meaningful change and contribute to the advancement of society. Nietzsche's exploration of power and weakness is not a call for unbridled dominance or the suppression of others, but a profound invitation to cultivate inner strength, embrace authenticity, and pursue personal excellence. His philosophy serves as both a critique and a guide, urging us to transcend our inherent weaknesses and to harness our will to power in ways that promote personal fulfillment and societal progress. In embracing Nietzsche's vision, we are encouraged to confront our limitations, challenge societal norms, and strive for a higher state of being that reflects our true potential and the resilience of the human spirit. One of Friedrich Nietzsche's most profound contributions to philosophy is his emphasis on the strength of willpower and the concept of self-overcoming. Nietzsche believed that true success and a meaningful life are only attainable for those with a strong, resolute will. To him, the journey of life is less about external circumstances and more about how individuals harness their inner strength to confront challenges, grow, and ultimately transcend their limitations. The absence of this willpower, on the other hand, leads to mediocrity, dissatisfaction, and a sense of purposelessness. At the core of Nietzsche's philosophy is the belief that human existence is not inherently easy or straightforward. Life is full of obstacles, suffering, setbacks, and disappointments. Yet, Nietzsche saw these challenges not as burdens but as opportunities to exercise one's willpower and to grow stronger through adversity. This notion of self-overcoming is central to his idea of what it means to live authentically and fully. To Nietzsche, every individual must confront their inner weaknesses, master their impulses, and channel their energies toward meaningful goals. Only by doing so can they become the best versions of themselves. To illustrate this idea in a modern context, we can look at the journey of Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time. Her career is a testament to Nietzsche's philosophy of self-overcoming. Williams didn't just dominate tennis through natural talent. She endured numerous setbacks, including severe injuries, public criticism, and even life-threatening health complications. Yet, each time she was knocked down, she returned stronger, with an unyielding determination to achieve her goals. Her ability to focus her willpower on her ambitions, even in the face of adversity, reflects Nietzsche's belief in the transformative power of a strong will. The same principle applies to figures like Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years under an oppressive regime. Mandela emerged not embittered or defeated, but as a leader who inspired millions. His ability to transcend personal suffering and channel his energy into dismantling apartheid and unifying South Africa demonstrates Nietzsche's ideal of self-overcoming. Mandela's story is not one of passivity or resignation. It is a story of resilience and purpose, showing how an indomitable will can transform not just an individual but an entire society. Nietzsche's concept of willpower, however, is not merely about achieving external success. It is deeply tied to inner mastery and authenticity. To Nietzsche, living authentically means being true to one's values and desires, even when society pressures individuals to conform. This requires incredible willpower because it often means going against the grain, enduring criticism, and resisting the temptation to take easier, more socially acceptable paths. For Nietzsche, The truly strong individual is one who creates their own values and lives by them, regardless of societal expectations. Consider the example of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. Jobs was not just a visionary entrepreneur, but someone who consistently pursued his own unique vision, even when it conflicted with industry norms or conventional wisdom. He faced numerous failures, including being ousted from the company he helped create. Yet, his ability to persist, reinvent himself, and ultimately return to Apple to revolutionize technology exemplifies Nietzsche's idea of self-overcoming. Jobs' strength of will allowed him to remain authentic to his vision, and his legacy is a testament to the power of inner resilience. Nietzsche also recognized that self-overcoming requires a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about oneself. Many people, when confronted with failure or personal shortcomings, retreat into denial or blame external factors. Nietzsche saw this as a form of weakness, a refusal to confront reality and take responsibility for one's growth. True strength, he argued, comes from acknowledging one's flaws and using them as a foundation for self-improvement. It is this relentless pursuit of personal growth, despite the pain and discomfort it often entails, that defines self-overcoming. A contemporary example of this principle can be found in Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty and facing significant personal and professional challenges throughout her life, Winfrey never allowed her circumstances to define her. Instead, she confronted her struggles head-on, using them as fuel to grow stronger and achieve her goals. Her journey from adversity to becoming one of the most influential media figures in the world is a powerful illustration of Nietzsche's philosophy in action. Winfrey's ability to transform her pain into purpose reflects the essence of self-overcoming. Nietzsche's philosophy also challenges us to rethink how we view failure. To him, failure is not an endpoint, but a necessary part of growth. It is through failure that individuals learn, adapt, and develop the resilience needed to achieve greatness. This perspective is evident in the lives of figures like Michael Jordan, who famously said, "I've missed more than 9.000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games, 26 times. I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Jordan's willingness to embrace failure and use it as a stepping stone to success aligns perfectly with Nietzsche's belief in the transformative power of adversity. However, Nietzsche's emphasis on willpower and self-overcoming is not limited to personal ambition. He also saw it as essential for achieving a meaningful life. In his view, life's meaning is not something we passively discover, but something we actively create through our actions and choices. This requires a strong will, as it demands that individuals take ownership of their lives and resist the nihilistic tendencies that arise from external pressures or internal doubts. In this context, consider the example of Malala Yousafzai, the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Despite facing a near-fatal attack for advocating for girls' education, Malala remained undeterred in her mission. Her ability to channel her experiences into a global movement for education exemplifies Nietzsche's ideal of creating meaning through self-overcoming. Malala's story demonstrates that even in the face of immense challenges, a strong will can inspire change and create purpose. Nietzsche's focus on self-overcoming also has profound implications for leadership. He believed that true leaders are those who embody strength of will and inspire others to do the same. They do not impose their will on others through force, but lead by example, showing what is possible through resilience, authenticity, and self-mastery. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr., who faced immense resistance yet remained steadfast in his vision for civil rights, exemplify this ideal. King's ability to inspire others, even in the face of violence and adversity, reflects Nietzsche's belief in the transformative power of a strong will. In contrast, Nietzsche was deeply critical of those who lack willpower and succumb to weakness. He saw such individuals as prone to self-deception, blaming external circumstances for their failures rather than taking responsibility for their growth. This weakness, Nietzsche argued, not only hinders personal development but also contributes to societal mediocrity. When individuals fail to overcome their inner weaknesses, they perpetuate cycles of dependency and stagnation, preventing societies from reaching their full potential. In conclusion, Nietzsche's philosophy of willpower and self-overcoming offers a powerful framework for understanding personal growth and leadership. By emphasizing the importance of inner strength, authenticity, and resilience, Nietzsche challenges individuals to confront their limitations, embrace adversity, and create meaning in their lives. His ideas resonate in the stories of influential figures like Serena Williams, Nelson Mandela, Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, and Malala Yousafzai, who have demonstrated the transformative power of willpower and self-overcoming in their respective fields. Ultimately, Nietzsche's philosophy reminds us that life's greatest challenges are not obstacles to be avoided but opportunities to grow stronger and more authentic. By cultivating a strong will and embracing the process of self-overcoming, individuals can transcend their limitations, achieve their goals, and lead lives of purpose and fulfillment. In a world that often rewards conformity and mediocrity, Nietzsche's call to strength and authenticity is more relevant than ever, inspiring us to rise above our circumstances and become the architects of our own destinies. Compassion and its pitfalls, a Nietzschean perspective. Friedrich Nietzsche's exploration of compassion is both nuanced and provocative. He does not outright dismiss compassion as a moral value. Instead, he scrutinizes its application and warns of the unintended consequences it can have when misused or misunderstood. For Nietzsche, compassion is not inherently virtuous, while genuine compassion, or what he calls magnanimity, is an expression of strength. False compassion can become a tool of control that fosters dependence and weakens both the giver and the recipient. By delving into the complexities of compassion, Nietzsche challenges conventional moral frameworks, urging us to reconsider the role of empathy in personal and societal development. At the core of Nietzsche's critique is his belief that not all compassion is created equal. True compassion, in his view, stems from a position of strength and abundance. When someone who is self-assured and secure offers help, their actions are motivated by genuine care and an understanding that their assistance empowers rather than debilitates the recipient. This form of compassion, Nietzsche argues, uplifts others, encouraging them to become stronger and more independent. However, he contrasts this with what he sees as false or manipulative compassion, which often arises from a place of weakness or a desire to exert control over others. This kind of pity, rather than empowering, traps recipients in cycles of dependency and helplessness, stifling their growth and autonomy. Consider the dynamics of compassion in leadership. A leader who practices magnanimity seeks to empower their team, fostering independence and resilience. Nelson Mandela serves as an exemplary figure in this regard. Emerging from 27 years of imprisonment, Mandela's leadership was characterized by forgiveness and a commitment to uniting a fractured South Africa. His compassion did not weaken the nation. Instead, it inspired strength and collaboration, setting the stage for a more cohesive society. Mandela's approach aligns with Nietzsche's idea of magnanimity, compassion that builds rather than dismantles. In contrast, manipulative compassion can be observed in relationships where one party uses acts of pity to maintain control. Imagine a situation where a partner constantly offers to help the other but subtly undermines their confidence, suggesting that they are incapable of succeeding without support. This dynamic creates a dependency that benefits the giver, who feels needed and in control, while diminishing the recipient's self-worth and independence. Nietzsche would view this as a distortion of compassion, an example of how pity can become a tool of manipulation rather than empowerment. Nietzsche's distinction between genuine and false compassion also extends to societal structures. He critiques systems that institutionalize pity in ways that perpetuate dependency rather than fostering growth. For instance, welfare systems, while essential for addressing immediate needs, can inadvertently create a culture of dependency if not designed to encourage self-sufficiency. Nietzsche would argue that true compassion in this context would involve providing tools and opportunities for individuals to regain their independence and strength, rather than merely sustaining them in a state of need. A modern example of this principle can be found in the philanthropic work of figures like Melinda French Gates. Through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Gates emphasizes empowering communities by improving access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities. This approach seeks to address systemic issues, enabling individuals and communities to build sustainable futures. Nietzsche would likely appreciate such efforts as examples of magnanimity, compassion that aims to uplift and empower rather than foster reliance. Nietzsche's skepticism of pity is also rooted in its potential to reinforce power imbalances. When compassion is wielded from a position of superiority, it can serve to remind the recipient of their inferiority, perpetuating a sense of weakness. This dynamic is particularly evident in hierarchical relationships, where acts of pity can subtly reinforce the status quo. For Nietzsche, genuine compassion seeks to level the playing field by enabling others to rise to their potential, rather than keeping them dependent on external support. This critique is not merely theoretical. It has practical implications for how we approach social and economic inequality. Programs that focus solely on aid without addressing the underlying causes of poverty or inequality risk perpetuating the very problems they seek to solve. Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to rethink such efforts, advocating for solutions that empower individuals to overcome their circumstances and achieve lasting self-sufficiency. In interpersonal relationships, Nietzsche's analysis of compassion reveals the delicate balance between offering support and fostering independence. For example, in the realm of parenting, excessive compassion, manifested as overprotectiveness, can hinder a child's ability to develop resilience and autonomy. A parent who shields their child from every challenge out of a misguided sense of care may inadvertently weaken their ability to navigate life's difficulties. Nietzsche would argue that true compassion in parenting involves allowing children to face challenges and learn from them, cultivating the strength and independence they will need to thrive. The importance of fostering independence through compassion is also evident in education. Teachers who practice genuine compassion do not simply provide answers or solve problems for their students. They guide them to think critically and solve problems on their own. This approach, which aligns with Nietzsche's philosophy, empowers students to develop confidence in their abilities, preparing them for the complexities of life. By contrast, an overly accommodating teaching style that avoids challenging students can lead to a lack of resilience and a fear of failure, outcomes Nietzsche would associate with false compassion. Nietzsche's critique of compassion is further illuminated by his concept of the will to power. For Nietzsche, all human actions are driven by a fundamental desire to assert and expand one's influence. Compassion, when genuine, can align with this principle by empowering others to assert their own will and achieve their potential. However, when compassion becomes a means of control, it undermines the will to power, trapping both the giver and the recipient in a cycle of weakness. True compassion, Nietzsche argues, should amplify strength rather than diminish it. This perspective invites us to reconsider how we approach acts of compassion in our daily lives. Are our efforts to help others genuinely empowering, or are they driven by a desire to feel needed or maintain control? Nietzsche's philosophy challenges us to reflect on our motivations and strive for compassion that uplifts and strengthens rather than perpetuating dependency or reinforcing power imbalances. In the broader context of society, Nietzsche's insights into compassion have profound implications for how we address global challenges. Climate change, for example, requires solutions that empower communities to adapt and thrive in the face of environmental shifts. Efforts that focus solely on providing aid without building local capacity may offer short-term relief but fail to address the root causes of vulnerability. Nietzsche's philosophy reminds us that true compassion involves creating sustainable systems that enable individuals and communities to assert their will and overcome challenges independently. In conclusion, Nietzsche's exploration of compassion reveals its dual nature, as a potential source of strength and empowerment, but also as a mechanism of control and weakness when misapplied. By distinguishing between genuine compassion and manipulative pity, Nietzsche offers a framework for understanding how empathy can either uplift or diminish. His philosophy challenges us to practice compassion that fosters independence, resilience, and growth, whether in our personal relationships, societal structures, or global initiatives. through the lens of Nietzsche's critique. Figures like Nelson Mandela and Melinda Gates exemplify the transformative power of magnanimity, compassion that empowers and inspires. At the same time, his warnings about the pitfalls of false compassion urge us to reflect on our actions and motivations, ensuring that our efforts to help others align with the principles of empowerment and strength. In a world increasingly defined by interconnected challenges, Nietzsche's philosophy offers a timeless reminder of the importance of compassion that builds rather than breaks, uplifts rather than undermines, and strengthens rather than weakens. Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of a more fatty love of fate is one of the most radical and empowering ideas in his philosophy. Far from advocating passive resignation to one's circumstances, Nietzsche invites us to fully embrace life, including its hardships, struggles, and pain. To him, amor fati is a profound affirmation of life's inherent value, requiring strength, courage, and a willingness to find meaning even in the face of adversity. This idea is not just philosophical. It resonates deeply with real-world examples of resilience and triumph, illustrating how the acceptance of one's fate can lead to personal growth, fulfillment, and even greatness. At its core, amor fati challenges the human tendency to resist and lament the difficulties of life. Nietzsche argues that this resistance often leads to bitterness, nihilism, or a desire to escape reality, which he views as forms of weakness. Instead, he advocates for an attitude of gratitude and affirmation, where one not only accepts but actively loves every aspect of life, good and bad, joy and sorrow, triumph and suffering. This radical acceptance is not about surrendering to despair, but about transforming challenges into opportunities for growth and self-overcoming. A powerful example of amor fati in action is Viktor Frankl, the renowned psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor. Frankl's experiences in Nazi concentration camps tested the limits of human endurance and resilience. Stripped of everything, his freedom, his family, and even his dignity, Frankl faced unimaginable suffering. Yet, he found a way to rise above his circumstances by discovering meaning in his suffering. In his seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, Frankl writes that when we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. His ability to accept his fate, find purpose in his pain, and use his experiences to inspire others exemplifies Nietzsche's philosophy of amor fati. Frankl's journey shows that even in the most harrowing circumstances, one can find a sense of purpose and transform suffering into a source of strength. Nietzsche's call to embrace life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be, is both liberating and demanding. It requires a shift in perspective, an acknowledgement that life's challenges are not obstacles to be avoided but integral parts of the human experience. This mindset can be seen in the lives of leaders who have faced adversity with resilience and determination. Consider the story of Nelson Mandela. Imprisoned for 27 years for his anti-apartheid activism, Mandela could have succumbed to despair or hatred. Instead, he used his imprisonment as a time for reflection and growth, emerging as a symbol of reconciliation and strength. Mandela's willingness to embrace his fate, rather than resist or resent it, allowed him to become one of the most transformative figures of the 20th century. His life illustrates Nietzsche's belief that the acceptance of one's circumstances can lead to profound personal and societal change. Amor fati also has profound implications for how we approach failure and setbacks. Nietzsche saw failure not as something to be feared or avoided, but as an essential part of growth and self-discovery. This perspective is echoed in the journey of figures like Oprah Winfrey, who overcame a challenging childhood marked by poverty and abuse to become one of the most influential media personalities in the world. Winfrey has often spoken about how her struggles shaped her character and fueled her drive to succeed. Her story demonstrates that embracing one's challenges and learning from them can lead to remarkable achievements, embodying Nietzsche's idea that life's difficulties are not obstacles but opportunities to grow stronger and more resilient. In Nietzsche's view, loving one's fate does not mean passively accepting injustice or suffering. Rather, it involves taking ownership of one's life and finding ways to transform pain into purpose. This idea is central to the philosophy of amor fati, which encourages individuals to view their struggles as opportunities for self-overcoming. A modern example of this can be seen in the life of Malala Yousafzai. After surviving a near-fatal attack for advocating for girls' education in Pakistan, Malala could have retreated into fear or resentment. Instead, she embraced her fate and used her platform to become a global advocate for education and women's rights. Her ability to turn personal tragedy into a source of strength and purpose reflects Nietzsche's belief in the transformative power of amor fati. Nietzsche's philosophy also challenges us to rethink our relationship with time and memory. Often, people dwell on past regrets or worry about future uncertainties, which can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction or anxiety. Amor fati invites us to live fully in the present, embracing each moment as it comes. This perspective resonates with the teachings of mindfulness and Stoicism, which emphasize the importance of accepting what is beyond our control and focusing on what we can change. By adopting an attitude of amor fati, individuals can cultivate a sense of peace and contentment, even in the face of life's uncertainties. In the realm of creativity and innovation, amor fati offers a powerful framework for navigating setbacks and failures. Innovators like Elon Musk embody this philosophy in their relentless pursuit of ambitious goals. Despite facing numerous challenges and criticisms, Musk's journey, from early failures with SpaceX and Tesla to becoming one of the most influential figures in technology, illustrates the power of embracing setbacks as learning experiences. His willingness to take risks, endure criticism, and persist in the face of adversity reflects Nietzsche's belief that true greatness comes from embracing and overcoming life's challenges. Nietzsche's concept of amor fati also has implications for how we view happiness and fulfillment. In a culture that often equates happiness with the absence of pain or difficulty, amor fati offers a counter-narrative. True happiness comes not from avoiding suffering but from finding meaning in it. This idea is reflected in the philosophy of figures like the Dalai Lama, who teaches that suffering is an inevitable part of life but can be a source of growth and compassion. By embracing life's challenges with an attitude of acceptance and gratitude, individuals can cultivate a deeper sense of fulfillment and resilience. The power of amor fati lies in its ability to transform one's perspective on life. Rather than viewing challenges as burdens or injustices, Nietzsche invites us to see them as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. This perspective is both empowering and humbling, reminding us that we have the capacity to shape our responses to life's difficulties and find meaning even in the face of adversity. In contemporary society, amor fati offers a valuable antidote to the culture of victimhood and entitlement that Nietzsche feared would lead to nihilism and mediocrity. By encouraging individuals to take ownership of their lives and embrace their circumstances, amor fati fosters a sense of agency and empowerment. This philosophy challenges us to rise above our circumstances, to find strength in adversity, and to live with courage and authenticity. Ultimately, Nietzsche's call to love one's fate is not a prescription for passivity, but a challenge to live fully and authentically. It is an invitation to embrace the full spectrum of human experience, to find beauty and meaning in life's imperfections, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for the journey. By adopting an attitude of amor fati, individuals can transcend the limitations of resentment and despair, transforming their lives into expressions of resilience, purpose, and joy. In a world often marked by uncertainty and struggle, Nietzsche's philosophy of amor fati offers a timeless reminder of the power of acceptance and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Friedrich Nietzsche's disdain for life-denying philosophies is one of the most striking and provocative aspects of his work. He fiercely critiques thinkers like Socrates and Schopenhauer, whose ideas, in his view, promote a rejection of life's inherent struggles and encourage individuals to abandon the pursuit of self-realization. Nietzsche saw these philosophies as fundamentally destructive, not only to the individual but to society as a whole. By devaluing the world and elevating notions of escape, resignation, or other worldly ideals, such philosophies, Nietzsche argued, erode human potential and foster a culture of passivity and mediocrity. To Nietzsche, Life-denying philosophies are deeply intertwined with the human impulse to avoid pain and suffering. They often present an alluring alternative, a vision of transcendence that negates the challenges of existence. Socrates, with his emphasis on reason and detachment from bodily desires, and Schopenhauer, with his depiction of life as a painful struggle dominated by the will, exemplify this mindset. Nietzsche rejected such approaches because they frame life itself as a problem to be solved or a burden to be endured rather than a gift to be embraced. In doing so, they rob individuals of the opportunity to grow, thrive, and achieve their fullest potential. Nietzsche's critique of Socrates is particularly pointed. While Socrates is often celebrated as the father of Western philosophy, Nietzsche viewed him as a harbinger of life denial. In Twilight of the Idols, Nietzsche critiques Socrates' emphasis on rationality and his disdain for the physical and instinctual aspects of life. To Nietzsche, Socratic rationalism represents a turning away from the vitality of existence, replacing it with an overemphasis on abstract thought and moral asceticism. This, Nietzsche believed, was the beginning of a tradition in Western thought that prioritized intellect and morality over the primal, creative, and instinctual forces that give life its energy and meaning. Schopenhauer's pessimism, on the other hand, is critiqued for its portrayal of life as inherently meaningless and full of suffering. Schopenhauer's prescription of asceticism and renunciation as a way to escape the suffering of the will is, for Nietzsche, an abdication of life itself. Instead of confronting life's challenges and embracing its struggles, Schopenhauer's philosophy encourages retreat and withdrawal, which Nietzsche saw as a form of weakness. He viewed this resignation as symptomatic of a deeper cultural malaise, the unwillingness to affirm life in all its complexity and imperfection. In contrast, Nietzsche championed a philosophy of life affirmation, where the struggles, chaos, and even suffering of existence are embraced as essential components of a meaningful life. His concept of amor fati, the love of one's fate, stands in stark opposition to the life-denying tendencies of Schopenhauer and others. Nietzsche urged individuals to not only accept but celebrate their circumstances, to find joy in the act of overcoming adversity, and to use life's challenges as a means of self-realization and growth. The consequences of life-denying philosophies, Nietzsche argued, extend beyond the individual. When these ideas permeate a culture, they lead to societal stagnation and decay. Nietzsche believed that the Christian emphasis on meekness, humility, and the promise of an afterlife was a manifestation of this life denial on a grand scale. By prioritizing otherworldly rewards over earthly accomplishments, such ideologies, according to Nietzsche, discourage people from striving for greatness and cultivating their potential. The result is a society that values conformity, obedience, and passivity over creativity, ambition, and strength. This critique remains strikingly relevant in the modern era. Consider the pervasive influence of nihilistic and pessimistic ideologies in contemporary culture. From apocalyptic narratives in media to existential despair in literature and philosophy, there is a widespread tendency to view life as fundamentally flawed or meaningless. This mindset often leads individuals to disengage from efforts to improve themselves or their communities, fostering a sense of helplessness and resignation. Nietzsche would argue that such attitudes weaken the fabric of society by undermining the drive for progress and excellence. The impact of life-denying philosophies can also be seen in how some individuals and groups approach challenges. Instead of seeking solutions or embracing opportunities for growth, there is a tendency to blame external factors, resign to circumstances, or retreat into victimhood. Nietzsche would see this as a failure to affirm life and take responsibility for one's own development. In his view, true strength lies in the ability to confront adversity with resilience, creativity, and a commitment to self-overcoming. A vivid example of Nietzsche's critique can be found in the figure of Elon Musk. While Musk is often polarizing, his relentless pursuit of ambitious goals, such as colonizing Mars and revolutionizing the electric car industry, embodies Nietzsche's life-affirming ethos. Musk's willingness to embrace risk, endure criticism, and face setbacks head-on contrasts sharply with the resignation and passivity that Nietzsche associates with life denial. Musk's philosophy of tackling seemingly insurmountable challenges reflects Nietzsche's belief in the transformative power of struggle and the importance of striving for greatness. In contrast, life-denying philosophies can manifest in leadership styles or societal policies that prioritize stability and risk aversion over innovation and progress. For example, leaders who avoid difficult decisions or resist change out of fear of failure may inadvertently stifle the potential for growth and improvement. Nietzsche would critique such approaches as symptomatic of a broader cultural tendency to shy away from the uncertainties and struggles that are inherent to life. He would argue that true leadership requires the courage to embrace uncertainty, confront challenges, and inspire others to reach for their highest potential. Nietzsche's critique of life denial also extends to the realm of education and personal development. He believed that education should cultivate strength, resilience, and creativity rather than merely impart knowledge or enforce conformity. In his view, a life-affirming education encourages students to embrace challenges, think critically, and develop their unique talents. This contrasts with educational systems that prioritize rote learning, obedience, or the avoidance of failure, which Nietzsche would see as reinforcing life-denying tendencies. In the modern world, the tension between life affirmation and life denial is evident in debates about how to address global challenges such as climate change, economic inequality, and political instability. While some responses focus on despair or resignation, others adopt a more Nietzschean approach, emphasizing innovation, resilience, and the pursuit of bold solutions. Figures like Greta Thunberg, who mobilize global movements for change, exemplify the life-affirming attitude that Nietzsche championed. Thunberg's activism reflects a refusal to accept the status quo and a commitment to confronting challenges with courage and determination. Nietzsche's philosophy also offers a powerful critique of how societies approach suffering and adversity. While life-denying philosophies often seek to eliminate or escape suffering, Nietzsche saw it as an integral part of the human experience. He argued that suffering, when embraced with a life-affirming attitude, can be a source of strength, creativity, and growth. This perspective is particularly relevant in discussions about mental health, where the emphasis on eradicating pain or discomfort can sometimes overlook the potential for growth and resilience that comes from facing and overcoming challenges. In conclusion, Nietzsche's critique of life-denying philosophies is both a condemnation of their impact and a call to embrace a more life-affirming perspective. By rejecting the resignation, passivity, and pessimism that characterize such philosophies, Nietzsche invites individuals and societies to affirm life in all its complexity and imperfection. His ideas challenge us to confront adversity with courage, embrace struggle as a source of growth, and strive for greatness in the face of life's inherent uncertainties. Through the lens of Nietzsche's critique, figures like Elon Musk, Nelson Mandela, and Greta Thunberg exemplify the transformative power of a life-affirming attitude. Their willingness to confront challenges, embrace risks, and pursue ambitious goals reflects Nietzsche's belief in the importance of striving for self-realization and societal progress. At the same time, Nietzsche's warnings about the dangers of life denial remind us of the importance of cultivating resilience, creativity, and a commitment to growth in the face of adversity. In a world often marked by uncertainty and struggle, Nietzsche's philosophy offers a timeless and empowering vision of what it means to truly embrace life. Reflecting on Nietzsche's insights offers profound lessons for how we can approach life with strength, authenticity, and purpose. At the heart of his philosophy is the idea that achieving success and living a meaningful life requires the cultivation of a strong will and the ability to overcome personal limitations. Nietzsche challenges us to confront the world as it is, rather than as we wish it to be, urging us to embrace our struggles as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to be avoided. Central to Nietzsche's thought is the practice of honesty with oneself. This is more than just a call for integrity. It is an invitation to face reality, no matter how uncomfortable or challenging it may be. For Nietzsche, self-deception weakens the individual, eroding both inner strength and the trust necessary to build meaningful relationships. By embracing truth, even when it is difficult, we lay the foundation for resilience and personal growth. Honesty, in Nietzsche's view, is not merely a moral virtue but a source of empowerment and authenticity. Nietzsche's exploration of compassion teaches us to discern between genuine care and manipulative pity. True compassion, rooted in strength, seeks to uplift and empower others, fostering independence rather than dependence. This distinction challenges us to evaluate our motivations when offering help, ensuring that our actions encourage growth and self-reliance in those we support. Nietzsche's critique of false compassion resonates in both personal relationships and societal structures, reminding us of the importance of fostering autonomy and resilience. The idea of a more fatty, loving one's fate stands as one of Nietzsche's most transformative contributions. This concept calls on us to accept and even embrace life's hardships, finding meaning and purpose in every experience, no matter how difficult, rather than resisting or lamenting our circumstances. Amor Fati teaches us to see adversity as an integral part of the human journey. It is a call to live with courage and gratitude, turning challenges into opportunities for self-overcoming and growth. Finally, Nietzsche's critique of life-denying philosophies serves as a powerful reminder to reject pessimism and passivity. He encourages us to affirm life in all its imperfection, to rise above despair, and to pursue our potential with determination and creativity. This life-affirming attitude not only empowers the individual, but also strengthens society, fostering innovation, progress, and the cultivation of greatness. Nietzsche's philosophy is not a detached intellectual exercise. It is a call to action. It challenges us to engage deeply with life, to harness our willpower, and to embrace the full spectrum of the human experience. By adopting his principles of strength, honesty, compassion, and resilience, we can navigate life's uncertainties with purpose and authenticity, transforming both ourselves and the world around us. His ideas remain as relevant today as they were in his time, offering timeless guidance for those seeking to live boldly and meaningfully. As we come to the end of this journey through Nietzsche's philosophy, one question remains: how will you respond to his call? Will you embrace the challenges life throws your way, using them as fuel for growth and self-discovery? Or will you let weakness, in its many forms, fear, self-doubt, complacency, hold you back from becoming the person you were meant to be? Nietzsche's ideas are more than abstract concepts. They are a roadmap for living boldly and authentically. They challenge us to confront life head-on, to find strength in adversity, and to create meaning even in the face of suffering. Whether it's through cultivating your inner will, practicing honesty with yourself, or rejecting the pull of mediocrity, Nietzsche's philosophy reminds us that greatness is not given, it's earned. Think of figures like Nelson Mandela, whose resilience turned decades of imprisonment into a catalyst for unifying a nation, or Serena Williams, whose relentless determination has defined her as one of the greatest athletes of all time. These individuals embody Nietzsche's ideals, showing us what's possible when we embrace life's struggles with courage and purpose. But Nietzsche also warns us, weakness breeds dishonesty and stagnation. It's not just about personal failure. It's about how entire societies lose their way when they prioritize comfort over excellence, conformity over innovation, and passivity over action. In rejecting these traps, Nietzsche offers a path forward, a path of strength, self-overcoming, and authenticity. So, as you leave this video, ask yourself, what does it mean to truly live? To embrace the chaos of life with open arms, to rise above your limitations, and to create something extraordinary out of the ordinary? Nietzsche's philosophy invites you to explore these questions, not for his sake, but for yours. The journey won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Nietzsche's profound insights. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might find inspiration here. Let's continue to challenge ourselves, to grow, and to live with purpose. Until next time, remember, strength is not what you have, it's what you build.